Right, everyone. Thank you so much. So we are moving on to the last session of today's class. So it was supposed to be the first, but our trainer is not within Nigeria. So it happens that he's going to be taking the last session of today. So the last session of today's class is going to be on resilience. And the person who will be taking us is none other than Mr. Muyiwa. Please permit me to share my screen to introduce him. Please confirm you can see my screen. Thank you.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. All right, so the person who will be taking us on the last session of today's class is none other than Mr.
No,
Muyiwa.
since inside would be too far now. Let's use inside so that we'll quick.
Is Mr. Muyiwa. Mr. Muyiwa is the General Manager of Training Heights, overseeing the organization's operation in Nigeria and Canada. Excuse me, please. All right, I'm sorry about that. Mr. Muyiwa is the General Manager of Training Heights, overseeing the organization's operations in Nigeria and Canada. He's an accomplished business and learning development manager with over a decade of experience supporting organizations in building competencies across information technology and business management domains. He has specialized in personal skills, assessment, capacity planning, and training roadmap development, ensuring that workforce development initiatives are strategically aligned with organizational objectives. Over the years, he has successfully worked with clients across multiple industries, including oil and gas, telecommunications, banking, and the public sector, helping them enhance performance through structured capability development programs. He is a certified business manager, Prince 2, project management practitioner, ITIL service management professional, and ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 implementer, with a strong commitment to quality management, governance, and continual improvement. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping ovation in the chat room, please let's welcome our last trainer for today, who will be taking us on resilience. It's good to have you on the call, sir. Please, you can take it off from here.
Right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Transformation College, for having me. And I once again apologize for having to schedule my time slots for later in the afternoon. I sincerely apologize for that. And of course, I think that it's for a good reason because this my session is what they call soft work. As it is, it's something that um, we just need to discuss together, and I'm sure that we can learn from each other, right? First and foremost, in fact, when I was reading when Mercy, thank you very much. When she was reading this profile, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I, in fact, I didn't almost recognize it, but it's fine. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Muyiwa, and I will be speaking for the next couple of minutes, discussing grit and resilience. Grit and what? And resilience, And before I comment, right? Let me even start to share my screen. 1 second. Okay. Um, Hold on a second. Before I continue, there you are. Entire screen. And, share this now. Okay. All right. Okay. Uh, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Okay. 1 second. Let me do this. So, as I try to navigate this, can someone tell me? I think I have a number of people on this call, right? This is week what of this particular course? Can someone tell me? Just put it in the chat box. This is week what?
Week 5.
Week 5, awesome. Week 5, awesome. And how many weeks do you have for these course? Hello, hello. Let's make this as interactive as possible. I know it's a weekend. I know people are already preparing for Owambe. 12
4
weeks.
weeks in all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I need about 5 to 10 people to tell me why precisely. Can you tell me precisely why you decided to opt for this program? 10 people. Just put it in the chat box. 10 people. Why you decided to opt for this program? Because I know that it's not because it's free, right? Uh, so I'm assuming that uh, that can be the reason why. So can someone tell me, 10 people, tell me why you are here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Go ahead. Who wants to do that for me? I'm trying to so that I can also read the chats. Hello, hello. You started dropping your messages because I can't see that. Uh, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
people are dropping their
okay, I can
comments.
see it. I can see it now. All right. Preference. Okay, what's this now? Where? Because I want to improve on my skills. Okay, learn to improve my skills. I think I want more precise. I watched a session on 23-001 in the previous code and I logged it. Therefore, I made it a duty to join this year's code to add more value to myself and business. Okay. All right, go ahead. Any other one? Any other one? Any other one? Career and organizational development. Okay. All right. Any other one? Any other one? ISO certification is my core aim. ISO certification is very broad, though. So when you say ISO certification, you have to be specific. Which area? You can't have it all. They said the master of jack of all trade, master of none. You can't have it all, though. So you have to be very specific with regards to which of the ISO you're looking to really specialize in, whether it's quality, whether it's information security, whether it's health and safety, whether it's environment, sustainability. There's a lot to plenty. So you have to know which one is what your strength. And of course, as we proceed with this conversation, we would uh, discuss that further. So let me start with a brief short story about myself, right? And of course, maybe that might be something. It's not a long one and it's not a boring one. Uh, when I studied systems engineering, right, in the University of Lagos. Because when I was a child, growing up, I always thought I was going to be a doctor. In fact, my mom had a plot of land then, and she was specifically keeping it for me so that I can build an hospital and I can start to practice. In fact, she had it all figured out in her head that I was going to be a doctor. And, of course, my secondary education was tilted towards sciences, right? And of course, I was pursuing that dream, whether it was my dream or it was my mom's, whichever way, I was start pursuing to becoming what? A doctor, right? And as life proceeded, I, you know, I decided I stumbled upon another idea of what of becoming what an aeronautic engineer, right? In fact, I at that time of my life when I thought about aeronautic, I'm not even sure where I got that nomenclature from. I'm not even sure where I got that. I don't know where I saw it from. Maybe in a movie or something. I just wanted to repair planes. People who say they want to become a pilot. But mine was so sophisticated around maybe it was the thought of the name in itself, aeronautic engineer. It was appealing. It was heavy. So I decided to say, okay, you know what? Maybe I can become an aeronautic engineer. And yes, and that was how I started pursuing engineering. And I took my jump, and unfortunately, there was no aeronautic engineer course in the University of Lagos. So I chose systems engineering, and I did that for what? For 5 years. Very painstaking. 5 years of my life was put in to that discipline, right? And after that, and then I decided to say, you know what? Let me what? Um, Let me take another route. And I did a lot of introspection. And what is it that I'm very what good at doing? In all this conversation, I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I want to become this and that and that. Now, what is one thing that I'm very passionate about? What is that one thing that I do effortlessly? Right? What is that one thing that I love to do that gives me joy? And how do I pursue it? And sometimes it sounds very absurd, but when you tell people that I like to talk to people, when you tell people like one of my passions is I like to gist with people, I like to, converse with people. People were like, how is that a discipline? How do you want to make money? Because the whole idea of a discipline, right, is to what? Is to make money at the end of the day, of course. People will say the best thing about in life is to enjoy what you're doing and making money out of it, but it doesn't always appear to be so at the end of the day because life will definitely happen to you, right? But most important thing was like I understood what my passion was, right? And ordinarily, when you tell people that my passion is uh you like to discuss with people, you like to converse with people, you like to talk, and all that. People will uh kind of relate it or say, oh, that kind of passion, you should just go into media and publicity and maybe you become an OAP or something along those lines, right? But I took a very different route thanks to our general overseer, Dr. Orlando, who decided to like, you know what, let me put you to good use. And that was how I became what? A salesperson. And I've been doing that since 2010, my 2010, 2010 into 2011. And the reason why, right? It wasn't natural as it is because of course, my uni days, I was managing, clubs, Thursdays, Fridays, go to convince people, come to my club, come to my party, come for this and that. So it was being able to, convince people, to a certain towards a certain goal or product or service or whatever it is that you're offering at the time, right? Maybe that was actually what propelled me to like, you know what? I think I can actually do sales because I like to speak with people. I like to, I listen very well. I understand. I want to try to understand people, to be able to see how we can work together, achieve a common goal and whatnot. And that was how I ventured into sales, right? About 3 months or 3 months. I'm not sure if Dr. Lando can remind me. 3 months down the line, I landed my first deal with InstaSwitch, because I was very, and I'm going to discuss this. This is, like I said, this is not I can see this screen, I mean, these slides will be shared with you, and of course you can look at it. We'll run through it regardless, right? But I just want you to, I want to give you a short brief about, what this grit and resilience really talks about, right? And, during the period, I just knew that, what, I've been given an opportunity and I cannot fail in this opportunity. And I started going out, going to meet with clients, taking our product. It was a Microsoft product at the time. We were selling licenses, SharePoint license, PowerPoint licenses, and the likes. And I remember very well, it was the two licenses that I sold, it was to InterSwitch. And I was always going there every time. I get there, I get to the door, the gate, the reception will be like, you know what, you do have an appointment. I'm like, no, I don't. But, I would like to, discuss with the head of IT or the CIO or someone to be able to, tell them exactly what a Global Foresight Advantage does and, our offerings and all that. If you give me an opportunity, I just kept on getting like, you know what, you need to book an appointment, you need to book an appointment. I'm like, okay, no problem. So one evening, I just sat in front of the place. I'm like, I'll just be going and coming from this place. Nothing will come out. Okay, let me just sit outside. Hopefully, I will get someone that I can speak to. And one guy came, Tolu, that's his name, I'll never forget. Came up. And I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? How are you doing? And the guy, like, I've closed and all that. He was not speaking on the phone with a friend, telling the guy that he should meet at a particular lounge. And I overheard, and I'm okay, no problem. I'm like, I just wanted to discuss. I've been trying to come in and to discuss. Like, I no, 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 like, you know what? Give me your number, and we're going to speak later and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll speak later and all that. I know, I'm like, okay. And I heard about we heard when he said he was going to meet us, and I'm like, okay, no problem. And later in the day, of course, after like an hour, I went into the lounge, like like we jammed ourselves. And I'm like, hey, dude, how far? Guy, how far now? How you did? I'm like, and we sat and we started talking. And, we started having a conversation. Nothing that relates to business at all. It was just a conversation around various other things. And, we picked interest in each other. Of course, I knew what I was doing anyway. So I picked interest and we had a conversation. And that was it. Let's not forget the very first thing that I said was a passion of like I like to converse with people. And during that period, we had a long, lengthy conversation. We had drinks. The other guys came from the other colleagues from InterSwitch came around. Sheon and the likes of them were around. And at the end of the day, it was like, you know what? Let's see next week. Bring your proposal again and let's look at it and let me see how I can, position it to the head of IT. And weeks down the line, they asked for the quotes, I did the quotes, and voila, I landed my first deal. In all these that I've spoken about, there's passion, there's perseverance, and the ability to bounce back. So, and that's why I was very intentional. That was why my conversation started with, why are you here? Are you here out of the fact that, I love freebies? Are you here for a particular purpose? Like, you know what? I want to develop competency and capability in an area that I know that I can persevere. Very important. It's very important. This program is not a program that, we are just doing it so that we can register it somewhere and say that, what, in our transformation college as lifetime, we're able to train X, Y, and Z number of people. There's a reason why the company is called Transformation College, to transform people to be the better version of themselves. You can't build on nothing. That's where passion comes. You need to be able to understand, what am I passionate about? They always say Nigerians are the most resilient people. I don't know how true that is. Can someone agree with me or disagree with me? Because if you have the governments that we have in the past and the present, and not hope for those kind of governments in the future, right? You would agree with me that a lot has not been right in the country Nigeria. But despite that, a lot of people still persevere due to their level of resilience. Sometimes people will wonder, why is it that you go in the abroad and you see a lot of Nigerians in the abroad doing someone said we are not resilient. Then what are we? We are long-suffering Nigerians. We are just we're long-suffering. I've seen a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora, in abroad, and you will be amazed at the giant strides that they have made in various very uncommon areas that you wonder, like, you know what, how is it that this person is thriving in this area? Because the opportunity, what, and the enabling environment was provided, and that's why they have been able to thrive. Now you pick those kind of people and you maybe an American or a British or a Canadian, you bring them to Nigeria and you see whether, those people can actually what, thrive. So someone said we give in too soon on national issues. Well, I'm not here to discuss politics, so I'm just here to discuss passion, perseverance, and resilience. All right. But the most important thing, right, is what you need to what first and foremost understand what your passion. The passion is very important. We now build our wells, our boreholes so much that the government forgets one of their responsibilities is to provide potable water. Of course, that speaks to resilience, right? In the abroad, you can't be boring if there is no water. When ordinary power outage, if you see the commotion that will happen, power outage, something that is a norm for us in Nigeria. Power outage for like 2 minutes, you see the entire place will be in a disarray. Everybody's panicking. People are calling 911 saying, we don't have power. I giggle. Oh, let me turn on my touchlight, I beg. Let me turn on there. Let's see where we are going. You understand? But sometimes resilience is very important, right? But let's move on. Let's not digress, right? Most important thing which we're going to be discussing in this particular session, right, is you need to be able to understand what am I passionate about. Because if you don't have that passion, or if you're not pursuing a passionate dream, then there is every likelihood that you will tank it before you get to fruition. There's every likelihood that you will not be resilient enough to see through it, because life will come up with a lot of challenges, right? And it's in your ability to be able to see, you know what, I'm going to forge ahead despite those challenges, despite no pipe bomb water, despite no electricity, despite all of that. You agree with me that there are a lot of people in the country called Nigeria that are thriving immensely in various areas that you would never even believe that exist. And they are making it, and they are thriving, and they are prospering in the country called Nigeria. Please, we have running businesses in Nigeria as well as we speak. And those businesses, by the special grace, are thriving despite the economic situation in Nigeria, which I believe is getting better at the macro level. But like I say here, I'm not here to discuss politics, right? So let's move on quickly. To this session, we're going to be discussing on what? On grit. We're going to be discussing on grit, resilience, and how resilience works and the forms of resilience. We're going to be discussing how to build resilience, right? Whether it's emotional, whether it's psychological, how to build that resilience. I know what helps and what hurts. I'm putting it to work, right? Okay, are we together? All right. Is this moving? Okay, all right. Okay. Grit versus what? Resilience. Someone say this. Grit versus what? Resilience. I think I already discussed that in my opening speech. They work together actually. Drives what drives you forward, right? And resilience what definitely helps you recover from the knock, because definitely there's going to be a lot of challenges as you move. But like I said, what you do not have passion for, you can't persevere. What you don't have passion for, it's very important. Like I said, I mentioned in the very beginning, if my passion was for medicine from the jump, I probably might become a doctor today. If my real passion, like not besides the fact that my mom wanted it, I might probably become a doctor. Because I studied science, I went through science, and trust me, I did very well. For you to be able to, in those days when you do jam and you pass, for you to do jam to get into engineering is not beans. But was it my passion? Or was it your passion? Sometimes, people for the purpose of I don't want to fail my parents, or I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to disappoint one person or the other. Let me just do this. But is it actually what you're passionate about? That you believe strongly in yourself, that you can thrive and you can be prosperous? That is what you should really introspect. And that's why I said that this session is not about slides, talk reading, and all this. You've done quite a number of academic work in the earlier sessions. But this particular one is for you to introspect, look within yourself. What is that thing that I'm very passionate about? What is that one thing that I'm very passionate about? Some people will just say, I just love, people, there are some women that they do a lot of cooking. Like, like every time they see ingredients, it's a science to them. They're looking at how to mix this and this together to put this to get the taste out of. You'll be surprised at a lot of people that do all this cooking show and all that, because it is people can't just come up with things like that. And if you won't come up with it, it is your passion and your perseverance that makes it a prosperous endeavor. And let's not forget, resilience definitely means like there's always going to be a lot of challenges. But the ability to keep a flexible mind, ability to be able to guide and guard your emotions. The most important thing, when you trip, ability to recover and bounce back. It's very important. Not like, oh, I don't tire, this thing no work. Make I move on. Make I go find another thing. Can I go do another thing? I beg. I know they do. Do you have a family member that, every time they come, they say, I'm into this now. They come back again, I don't do this one. I do real estate. The next time they come, I don't sell cars. The next time they come, I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Right? It is your ability to what? To let what? First and foremost, what are you passionate about? Very important. If there's nothing that you're going to take out of this thing, is the ability to go back and introspect. Like, what am I doing right now? Is this what I really want to do? Is it what I really want to do? Very, very important. So passion plus perseverance equals what? Great. Because once you're passionate about something, you always find a way. Like you'll be persevere, you like, I will get this thing right. Get this thing right. You know what you're going for. That long-term goal. Told you. I kept on going to that company. Like, these people, you are a Microsoft shop now. I know that you are. I know that everything that you are using, then there was no Microsoft Teams and all that, and then one Outlook. Then it was Microsoft Exchange. There was no Teams. It was Link. There was no Outlook, but Exchange. So, and those things require license. Now you go on to Tigba and buy CD, put it, and you have all your MS Office. Then I'm sure they still do that now. But for a corporate organization, you dare not. You can't do that. Because if Microsoft holds you, once they catch you, they can run your company down. Litigations will finish you. So they were bound to what? To ensure that they buy directly. So it is a need that I know that they have. So if they are not going to buy from, they are definitely going to buy from someone else. But they have to have it. And I understood this. And I'm like, I have to find my way into this organization. That was it. And I know that people did here now. People did that place. Is it a human being that? And the human being speaks English now. Let's talk. right? Let's stop. Like without passion, perseverance burns out. Yeah. Without perseverance, you simply give up. Simple. There's nothing, there's no science behind it. There's no complexity around it. If you're not passionate about something, you can't even persevere. That's why I mentioned, someone will tell you, I do this one. Come again, I do that one. Oh, come again, come and invest in this. I can do this one. I started doing this one now. I'm like, okay. Like always, something I sell food. I sell. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sometimes when you even jump from pillar to post, people kind of really do not have faith in what it is that you do because they feel like, you know what, this person, I'm not sure he knows what he's doing. If you go on my WhatsApp contact list now, 90% of people on my list that are viewing my status, that I have saved their number, 90% of them are clients that have turned friends. It's very intentional. Very, very what? Intentional. And I see you the first day, how are you? This and that. Once I know that you're a potential client, I'm saving your bloody number. On WhatsApp, definitely, I will save your number. And your kids are going on having a birthday, and I'm sure I'm saving your number. I'm also ensuring that you save mine. So that when you post, I see it. And I comment when you have your kids having a birthday party. Oh, so sweet boy. Happy birthday to him. This and that. I've gone for a birthday party before. Like this, I hope this 10-year-old birthday. This is a landmark. Wow, this is a big celebration. I wish I can be there. Oh, I'm like, oh, sure, why not? You can if you want. And I go there. I go and carry a box of gifts and I take it there. And that's why, what's it called? Client turned friend. And in everything, I'm sure you know that. No, it's not just Nigeria. Everywhere in the world, relationship is everything. In Canada, in the US, in the UK, relationship is everything. Your ability to build relationship determines how prosperous you are in whatever business that you want to do. In whatever business that you decide to do, the ability to build relationships. And I understood that. Sometimes you get rejection, absolutely, definitely. But it's in that your resilience that I will not give up. Because what? You already have a passion for the thing. It was not out of poverty or out of hunger or out of desperation or out of the fact that, you know what, I'm always seated in the house. And I always tell people, there was an interview I had a couple of years ago. The guy came in. And when the guy came, the guy was like, yes, that he came in as uh, was he a salesperson? Yes, salesperson. I remember. And during the conversation, I just know, like, this dude. And we started talking, and I'm like, okay, what did you study? He said he studied accounting. I'm like, accounting. Why do you want to become a salesperson? Oh, he says that he sells a lot that he used to do when he was in school, that he used to go and pick something at where's that place? They pick second-hand jeans and he goes to buy, he will rewash, package it, and dry clean it and sell to his colleagues in class in school then, and he was making money from it and decided, I'm like, yeah, it's good stuff, good stuff. But why though? Why sales? Because you studied accounting. Is it that you don't think that you're going to, maybe because you maybe if you tell me that I want to save money up to be able to go and do ICANN so that I can pursue my real accounting dream, but you never spoken about the accounting. Just we're talking about sales and all that, and I'm like, okay, you know what really, why? I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, if I were to hire you today now, what would your salary expectation be? And at that time, it was years ago. And I think he said 50,000. And I, what? No, I think he said 50 or 40 or something. And I, what? We're like, no, 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 no. My hesitation was 50. Asking where you coming from? What he said, it's coming from somewhere around Songo. I'm like, oh, wow. At later, he had to tell me that, bros, see, the reason if I get 30 self, I'll collect because I'm tired of just sitting in the house every day. When it's about to rain, it's me and the neighbors that will call. They will call neighbor. The neighbors will call me that please help us go and pack our clothes on the line. Oh. When NEPA wants to come and disconnect the lights, they are the one that they always contribute the NEPA money to. If there is any issue with the pumping machine, and the technician is coming. You're like, don't worry, Oga John is always at home. He will be the one to supervise and oversee. And he became the interim caretaker of the house. And he said he just got that. Like, he just wants to leave the house. So at that particular point in time, what was driving him was not passion for something. It was passion. It was just the fact that let me just be living there. If I something, let me say I'll be collecting and be coming back to this house every day, so that people can see that means I'm going to work and I'm coming back. Yeah. So now, is that passion? I don't know. Maybe someone should help me out. Can we say that is passion? No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like I said, this is conversational, right? Because if you cannot provide frustration, that's frustration. Yeah? Because we're like, okay, I just need, and trust me, there are a lot of people out there that they just want to, like, you know what, let me just get something doing. You've been staying with your parents. How long have you been staying with your parents? Even you have girlfriends that will come to the house. And every time you invite me, you bring me to your mommy's house. Your dad, when are you going to live with your parents, please? And the guy will be like, with what house rate is saying, you want to kill me. Eh? Not directly at all, not really, but he's doing that out of desperation. But a lot of people, because of the fact, and that's why sometimes, the situation you find yourself. Now, let me go back to my earlier conversation about how are Nigerians resilient people, because that's resilience. Like regardless, I go just get something doing, because in a working economy, an accountant shouldn't be running up and down. At least you will get somewhere. Accountants. All right, let's move on quickly. All right, let's move on. And qualities of great passion. We spoke about passion. We spoke about perseverance. Hard work, very important. Everybody wants to do. Dr. Lando used to say something. Small work, plenty money. That people are always chasing up and down. Small work, plenty money. Come on, it's not always this. It's not always the case. People say it's grace. It's grace. Okay, you have to work. Hard work is very important. Very, very what important. Even the rich are still really working hard. You know how hard it was for Dangote to be able to get that what's that thing called? The refinery. The obstacles that he faced, the principalities that he said categorically in his statement that they are even way what more deadlier than the drug cartel. But because he was very perseverant, he was very certain that I die here. Despite all the setbacks, this I will very focused. I will ensure that that refinery it will come up, regardless. I've never seen Dangote do that much interview since we all know that we always just hear Dangote by name, and maybe it's his trucks and his lorries and all those things. But in with space of 1 month, he must have done about three press interviews because Yoruba will say ọmọdé bí ẹrù ẹrù bà bí how did they used to say that thing? And when he saw that, but it didn't deter him. People were cussing him out. His friends were telling him that, Oga, you see, I told you not to hear this area that you want to jump into. Hey, I'm sorry for you. But because he was passionate about it, he had that dream that I would build a refinery. He wanted to buy our refinery before. In fact, they had sold it to him. About Obasanjo, I think he sold it to him, but for some reason they collected back the thing back from him. And he said, okay, I will build my own. Maybe you don't want to sell this your rickety one that you have killed I will build my own. And they didn't even want him to build it. But thanks to perseverance, he was very, very, very insistent. Despite he was getting it. Do you know how many sites that he got that they shut down? I think he got one somewhere, then he got another one in Ogun State, and before he got Lagos. Despite the setback, he kept on pushing, forging ahead. That you know what? I know that one day, this my effort will pay off. Is it not paying off now? People are already buying shares into the thing. Because that's what passion and perseverance achieve. That's what you get out of it. So I ask again, what is that passion that you have? Sometimes your passion might seem more realistic. I'm sure he said when he was telling his friends that I'm going to build a refinery, they were laughing at him. Oh. They were laughing like, fool. You're not going to face this your sugar and your cement that they are doing, JJ, that they have given to you. They have left you to eat. You're not going to face and be collecting your small money and all the money that they are collecting. You are still what's it called, the world, the African richest. Maintain your champion, okay? Don't go and pass your boundary. This oil industry in Nigeria, but you're like, no, despite it, never. In fact, when he started facing the setback, they were laughing at it. We told you now. Maybe you will not listen. Look at what you have. But he decided, like, I will not fail. I will not fail. I will not fail. Resilience is what? Is adapting well to adversity, trauma, or stress, and recovering your footing afterwards. We said that. That's why my opening conversation, everything that we're going to, everything in the slides, we've almost discussed everything. But the most important thing is what? Is identifying what it is that you're passionate about. Harnessing your inner strength to ensure that you bounce back from any kind of setback. Any kind of setback. So it's a moment to introspect. And that's why you really need to look inward and think, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I really passionate about it? Or is it just for survival? Because if it's just for survival, by the time if you don't get it right, then you'll be deterred. You will be deterred. What am I really passionate about? Sometimes you can be doing something to be able to achieve something else. Let me do this on a short term because I have a goal in front of me. I have something that I want to eventually become what I want to eventually achieve. People come into Canada and do care work. Some of them will stick to that care work because when they come in on a survival mode and they do care jobs, which is a very decent and which is a very what's that thing called? Humble profession, in my own opinion, right? But some people decide to like, you know what? The reason why I came into this care work is because I want to work in the medical field. I want to maybe become a nurse or a doctor in the future. A lot of people have gone ahead to become doctor through that means because they have their goals set. But they're like, okay, what is the easiest way to come in? Rather than go, where do I get almost $100,000 from? To go and study medicine or to study nursing and all those kind of things. But let me start from this area. And that's why I said, sometimes you can start somewhere, but you have to have a goal in mind. What is that thing that I'm chasing? What is that thing that I'm chasing? And you need to make the best depending, you can't keep saying that Nigeria is bad. It's our people, our government, our this, our that. The government are also Nigerians. They are not aliens. They are Nigerians, just like you and I. When they say when corruption favors you, call it what? Is it grace? Or what do you call it? Eh? But it's always at the detriment of something else. All right? Why resilience matters? Tackles problem head on and instead of avoiding them. Because yes, all my analogies in the earlier what's it called minutes, I've said a lot of things about how you're able to tackle, because there are going to be problems, definitely, but how are you able to ensure that these problems do not overwhelm you? And we're going to discuss coping mechanisms and all that as we proceed. All right, resilient mindsets: face problems head on, avoid feeling overwhelmed, cope in a healthy way. And this particular last one, tap strength and support, you can never do it on your own. Never. When I was growing, I used to have this mindset that, I don't want anyone to say I did it, what I did for you after all I've done for you. So you try as much as possible. I will do this by myself. I don't need anybody's help. But trust me, you need help. And when you need help, you need to Ask for help. All right? Resilience is a process, as a process. Number one is adversity, right? How you face your adversity, how you reframe, how you cope, how you adapt, and how you grow through it to make you a stronger person. You know, the when they say life is full of ups and downs, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Life will reshape you. You know, resilience is not something that uh, they build when they give birth to this guy or this boy or this girl. They give birth to him with a resilience feature. No, it's what life throws at you and how you come out of it is what develops your resilience. Is what develops your resilience. We've had people that has worked in our organization. Some came in as cleaners. Some came in as what's it called? Office help. And they have gone ahead, forged ahead to become something. They've carved a niche, a path for themselves within that same organization. Like, you know what? But let me get in first. I have a goal in mind. I have a target. I have a passion that I'm driving. I'm not going to be stagnant. I'm not going to be stagnant. The types of resilience. Please, are we together? I hope I'm not speaking to myself. Are we together? Anybody? Chat. Thank you, Nike. Thank you. Types of resilience: emotional, psychological, physical, social. You know, everything. You know, sometimes, you know, you get overwhelmed, you know, and your ability to manage your feelings to ensure that, you know, despite this, there is going to be stress. Definitely. There is nothing you can do about it. And the last one again, you can look at is social, drawing strength from your community and connection. You need to speak. You know, here in the, you know, in Nigeria, when they say that you need to go and see a psychologist, I'm like, this one has gone mad. This one has run mad. But sometimes, because of the reason why it's, here it's a thriving profession here in the abroad is because, you know, most people in the abroad, they live in silos, for a lack of a better word. But Africans are community driven people. You know, in the olden days, if you look at the way our forefathers built built their houses, there's a reason why they call those structures "face me, I face you." Everybody is watching after everybody. You know, people will see it as negative and say that everybody is gossiping or in everybody's business. But the old goal was to be able to look after each other. You know, when you're growing and you do something wrong, you know, your neighbor can spank you and say, don't worry, I'll tell your mommy. You will hear her. But those things have slowly beginning to fade off. I don't know, I might be wrong, but back in the days, I don't think people usually hear about people committing suicide, people doing all sorts. In those days, like I said, I might be wrong. Because at every point in time, you're always speaking to someone. Someone is always there. You will have someone that you want to share something with. Why do people commit suicide? Because they are not able to share. When life throws them down, their ability to get up. That last part is social. Social. You need to speak to someone. You need to have a mentor. You need to have a community that you draw strength from. You know, sometimes because I don't want people to know what things about me. I don't want people to be in my business. Because of that, let me just keep it to myself. But trust me, sometimes you just need to pick that one person. It might be your wife, it might be your little brother, your sister, It doesn't need to be someone who is older than you. Trust me, age is nothing but just a number. Sometimes there are some things that I just think about. I'm like, you know what? I'm not discussing with my wife, which of course she's my confidant. I can speak to, I have like little brothers that I can call, like, you know what? Let me pick your brains about this. Tell me about this. You know what? I'm looking at something, but this thing keeps happening. What do you think? Let me hear your opinion. You don't know it all. And you'll be surprised and amazed at how people can even share whilst they are throwing. When people see that you are open enough to share yours, they share theirs. And you help what? Each other. That's what the community speaks. You don't need to be around a community that pulls you down. You know, there are a lot of people that when you say, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, go drama. As in, everything about them is negative. And that's why you need to be able to what? To understand and pick, be very intentional about the what? And be very intentional and also be very objective and open to criticism. Because there's constructive criticism and there's just negative criticism. It's your ability to be able to identify that this one, everything, nothing good, nothing good about this, about anything when you talk to this person. Is always one negative thing or the other. Plenty of, trust me, I have friends. Well, you just need to layer them. When you know that this one, I know I can, this one is just a drinking buddy. When you really want to discuss, I don't think that this guy is worth it. All right? Very important. Social, community. Very what? Very, very important. And how do you build emotional resilience? First and foremost, you need to label what you feel. You need to know how you feel. What is that? How am I feeling? Also be kind to yourself. And you also need to process, not suppress. Because once you keep suppressing, when it blows out, and that's why a lot of things happen. That's why a lot of things happen. And how to, once again, you can see, important. Very, very important. You lean on good people.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is
You lean on what? Good people.
Let me zip it.
Who is our co-trainer? Do you want to take over? Young woman, young lady. It would be great if you can take over. All right? Lean on what? Good people. You can't do it all by yourself. But you need to be able to identify who you are leaning on. Because who you lean on will determine whether you're growing or you depreciate. So you can look at also again. First thing I said, what is your passion? Two, who am I? Look at the people that you're with. And I be able to evaluate, can I lean on someone like this? Sometimes it's always good to lean on a spouse or a girlfriend or a fiance or a boyfriend. Because of course, those are the people that you feel like, you share intimate things with. I don't know people like, I don't want to tell my husband that I have this one. I don't want to tell I don't know how those kind of marriages work though. Yeah. Who am I? I'm not a marriage counselor. Right? Okay. Building psychological resilience. You frame your thoughts, you think flexibly. You don't have to always think about, there are always better ways, always other ways. This is not working. How do I, in the event that this does not work, what do I do? In the event that that does not work, what controls do I have to put in place? How do I do X, Y, and Z? The most important thing is that you have to look for a way to move forward. Build your self-belief. Very important. Nobody believes in you but you. If you can't expect people to believe in you if you do not believe in yourself. You can't expect anyone to believe in you if you do not believe in yourself. You'll be surprised at the way some people talk about themselves, and you'll be like, I like the way you talk about yourself with so much, confidence. Because that's how he or she sees him or herself. how you see yourself. It is a reflection of how people will see you. You don't need to put everything, all the problems at once. This is first and foremost, you need to evaluate the problem. And you break it in silos. Solve it one step at a time. Because that will help you with what? How you want to manage problems for overwhelming you. All right? Problems from what? Overwhelming you. I'll go back again and keep saying it. First and foremost, take back. This is not a assignment where you where you write. It's something that you need to sit. Take 30 minutes after this session. I want to believe this is the last one session. Take 30 minutes and think, retrace, introspect. What am I really passionate about? Think about it from your childhood days growing up. What is that one thing I know that I can do? Because having to build that self-belief, like this one, I can do it. This one, go, leave her for me. And with that kind of thing that you know that because that is the fastest, not fastest, that is the surer way to build what's it called? A resilient personality, profession. This I am passionate about it, and this I will do. I watched this series, The Good Doctor. It's about this autistic guy. I don't know if maybe any of you have been watching it. I think it's on Prime now. I watched it back then when you used to go and use many all these old streaming sites. And one thing I picked about the guy, his name is Murphy or something. Anybody knows the Good Doctor, Dr. Murphy? You know, when he's talking, despite the fact that he's autistic, he will say, I am Dr. Murphy. He saw himself like, despite my challenges, my autism, despite my, my uniqueness, because people still look at him and like, dude, when an autistic person comes to you and wants to treat you, you'll be like, hey, Muku. But he saw himself like, no, I am a doctor. He kept on saying it because he believed in that dream of becoming a doctor, and he became one, and one of the best. If you go watch the series. Nobody can believe more in you than you. Nobody. That's why you need to go back and think about it. Sometimes that passion might not be a popular one. Like the doctor that my mom, in fact, I'm surprised nobody's asking what happened to the plot of land now. I will save it for season 2. The plot of land that I was supposed to use to build. Maybe if anyone wants to become a doctor here, I can sell the plot of land to you at a discounted rate too. But it's in your ability to think and introspect. What am I passionate about? It might not be a popular one. As long as you know that you're very good at it. And it's a long lasting. Not that today I sell cars. Tomorrow how more? The kind of what's the thing called? Properties that I have now, you run and you jump from one thing to the other. Jump from one thing to the other. The point in time, people do. On my WhatsApp, like I said before, everybody, when you say, we're training heights. That guy, training, go and meet that guy. Training, that guy does training. Training, just go there. Because I've built a brand around it. Built a brand around it. I'm sitting with my friends, we're conversing at the lounge or something, or at the party, and during the conversation is always around, you know what? When we talk informal, we bring in a little bit of formal, because they know that, let me pick your brains about something. Let me talk about this new course, this new certification. This everybody now is
Sir.
AI with me. Yes, I'm almost done.
Okay.
So those are the things that was, like I said, this slide is everything that I've spoken. I just like to always, what's it called, summarize all the entire thing is one. But the take home, which is the most important thing, is what? Let's go back and what? Introspect. Introspect. What do I really want to become? What do I have passion for? And this personality that factors that links to what resilience. Owning your own mistakes very important. You don't blame others. Cooperativeness, lower frustrations and stress. Persistence, very important. Right? And this particular one, for anything, this focus on this, right? And what erodes childhood, sometimes early stress. A lot of people have had a rough childhood, lack of social support, lack of what social, and that's why I always say that you need to lean on good people. Unrealistic plan, sometimes too much. Say something and be like, okay, how is this even realistic? And low self-esteem. You have to be able believe in yourself. Nobody can do that. Nobody. How you process your feelings is very, very important. And this is how you train your what? Your resilience. All right? Coping skills, knowledge of your strength, strong connection, strong. You can see that this thing keeps coming up. You can't do it all on your own. Never. You can't. You cannot. You need to lean on good people. You need to what? Lean on what? On good people. All right? And 10 tips to build resilience. You make connection. You can see it's there again. You make connections. You need to. You need to. You need to. All right? Accept that change. It's part of the things. They're always going to be changes. Always. Take good care of yourself. Very important. Very, very important. Very, very. Do not be negative. You can't be. Number 7, nurture a positive self-view. All right? Nurture a what? Positive what? Self-view. And the signs of what? A resilient person. Protect your energy. You manage what? Your limits. You know when to say no. Like I said, that's how you protect yourself. You ask for help. Always what? Ask for help. You can't do it all by yourself. I've said that 1 million times today. You can't what? Do it all by yourself. All right? You can't do it all by yourself. So this is what you need to carry with you. You can't give up. Because at the end of the day, nobody is there to help. Nobody is there to you don't blame anybody but yourself. You don't what? Blame anybody but what? But yourself. And Angela Duckworth said, grief is the passion, perseverance, and stamina to stick with your goals until they become reality. Don't give up. This one, I will do it. And I will get it right. Because this is what I want. And I will make sure that it works. All right? And I will make sure that it works. So your key takeaway, number 1, like I said, and I will say it again, is to go back. Go back and think within before you go for your Owambe. Think, what am I doing right now? Is this what I really want to do? Is this what I really want to do? You need to. Is this what I really want to do? Or is this what my mom or my dad? Or is this what I want to do, something that makes me look good? Makes me like, I'm a big man. That doctor. Oh, wow. Oh, gee, great. If you want to become a doctor, I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. Oh, definitely not. If you see some houses in Canada, yeah, once you see that, this one on a medical line, this one day, you can say, this one. Because those are the people that have that money. But trust me, there are a lot of people that do some very uncommon things. The lady that lives opposite my house runs a gym. Runs a gym. Because she's very athletic. And she decided, like, you know what? Let me open a gym. Let me tell me that you're gonna I make it. Let me just be carrying my dumbbell in this place. Even the dumbbell I'm carrying, my back has almost scattered. I want to now be doing yoga, just leave me. Let me be managing my small self like this. But trust me, there was a reason why something propelled her. You didn't go to study gym in school now. Gymnastic, maybe she did, but not everybody thinks about that. But what you studied in school, you can put it aside. A lot of people studied botany and zoology because they just wanted to get that degree. But they've redefined their purpose. So it's time for you to redefine your own purpose. Nobody says it's going to be easy. It's never, never. That's where your resilience comes in. It's never going to be easy. If it's easy now, set up, like they always say. It's never going to be what? Easy. But you need your resilience and your grit will make you what? Persevere. All right? Make you what? Persevere. All right, guys? Resilience is what? Someone should read this for me. Unmute and please read it. Somebody should please do this for me. Anybody? Are they allowed to unmute?
Okay, I read.
Okay.
I read.
Go ahead, sir.
Great is okay. Sorry, let me pick from. Resilience is knowing that you are the only
Resilience is
one
knowing that you are
that
the only
have
one that has the power and the responsibility to
responsibility
pick yourself up.
to pick yourself up.
Okay. Go
Great
ahead.
is that extra something that separates the most successful
That extra
people
something that
from
separates
the
the most successful.
Oh, why? Is someone else reading? Okay, you continue.
All right. Grit is that extra something that separates the most successful people from the rest. It is a passion, perseverance, and stamina that we must channel in order to stick with our dreams until they become reality. Travis Bradbury, don't you ever give up.
Don't you ever give up. You have nothing to who loses the most when you give up? It is you. It is you. Everything that you have invested in your time, your energy in trying to pursue something, you think is worth it to just give it up. And that's why you need to what? First and foremost, reintrospect for the one thing. What is that one thing that I'm good at? I know that I can become very good at, and I will get right. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, this is just a conversational session. All right. You've done the academic part in the early session of the day. All right. But if there's one thing that you need to take away from this, is to go back and really think, why am I here in Transformation College? What is my long-term goal? What am I looking to achieve from this? 12 weeks is a long time for you to come and just waste like that. What do I plan on achieving in this my 12-week journey? And what am I doing to ensure that what I achieve that thing? Despite what? No data, no lights, laptop crashing. How am I to ensure that I will make sure that each of these sessions, I will be there for one purpose and one purpose only. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure being here once again. Special thanks to Transformation College and the team for giving me the opportunity. Once again, I apologize for rescheduling my session. And I hope that with this little point of mine, I hope that we'll be able to learn from each other. Thank you very much, and do have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Wow, a very big round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Muyiwa. Thank you so much for allowing us to drink from your well of knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. It was good having you on the call. Thank you, everyone, for standing by up until now. Please permit me to share my screen for just a few minutes, and then we will call it a day. Please, while I'm trying to share my screen, there is a feedback form in the chat room. Please go ahead and fill it up. Let's hear your honest feedback concerning today's class. Thank you so much. All right, so the announcement for today, if you are here to pay up your registration fee, please go ahead and do so. Kindly note that we have closed the registration for this program. So that being said, if you are yet to pay up your registration fee, please go ahead and do so. Also note that with time, this class is going to be restricted to only those who have paid. So if you are yet to do so, we still ask you all and join all of you to do so on or before the date that was mentioned on the group. Thank you so much for your adherence to this instruction. And we are open to receiving your sponsorship. You can decide to sponsor one person. You can decide to sponsor two for any of our programs, right? If there is anything you want to do about that, you can always reach out to us and then we will take it up from there. Thank you so much. And we ask you to follow us on all of our social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and mention us, tag us, and let's spread the gospel of Transformation College to our loved ones and friends. Thank you so much. And then you can always go to our website to get everything that you need to know about us. And then you can also reach us on the number as displayed on the screen. So that being said, I want to wish you people a very beautiful weekend. And regarding today's material, as usual, it's going to be sent to you all on the group, as well as the recording of today's session. If there is any other thing that you wish to know, you can always reach out to us on the WhatsApp number. Thank you so much, and do have a very, very beautiful weekend. We will see you in the next class. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.